Diamonds, centuries of tradition, and diplomatic elegance collided in one of the most spectacular royal displays we've seen this year. And if you're fascinated by the intersection of power, history, and breathtaking luxury, you're going to want to stay until the very end of this video because what happened at Windsor Castle reveals so much more than just beautiful jewelry. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're diving deep into royal territory with exclusive insights you won't find in mainstream coverage. And don't forget to share this with anyone who loves royal history and comment below with which tiara you think stole the show. The grand halls of Windsor Castle witnessed an extraordinary evening of regal splendor as Britain's most prominent royal women emerged wearing some of the most valuable and historically significant tiaras from the royal collection, creating a visual spectacle that hasn't been seen in quite some time. This wasn't just another formal dinner, this was a full state banquet held in honor of the President of Germany. And when it comes to state occasions like these, the British royal family understands better than anyone how to blend diplomacy with dazzling pageantry. The evening represented everything that makes the British monarchy unique in the modern world, a careful balance between ancient tradition and contemporary international relations, all wrapped up in a display of jewels that most of us can only dream about seeing in person. Queen Camilla arrived as the centerpiece of the evening's glamour, wearing a tiara that immediately caught the attention of royal watchers and jewelry experts around the world. Her choice wasn't random, nothing ever is when it comes to royal jewelry selections, because each piece carries layers of meaning, historical significance, and often subtle diplomatic messaging that speaks volumes without a single word being uttered. The Queen Consort understands the power of these symbolic gestures, and her tiara selection demonstrated both her growing confidence in her role and her deep respect for the occasion's importance. The way the diamonds caught the candlelight in the state dining room created an almost ethereal effect, reminding everyone present why these jewels have been treasured and protected for generations. The Princess of Wales made her entrance wearing a tiara that has become synonymous with royal elegance and understated sophistication, and her appearance sparked immediate conversation across social media platforms and royal commentary circles. Catherine has developed a remarkable ability to wear these priceless heirlooms with a modern sensibility that makes them feel relevant rather than relics, and that's no small achievement when you're wearing jewelry that predates your great-great-grandparents. Her choice reflected both continuity with past royal traditions and a forward-looking approach to how the monarchy presents itself to the world. The way she carried herself throughout the evening demonstrated why she's become such a central figure in the contemporary royal narrative, balancing formality with approachability in a way that resonates with people across generations. Other royal women in attendance also contributed to the evening's sparkle, with duchesses and princesses wearing tiaras that each told their own stories of royal heritage and family connections. The collective effect was stunning, creating a tableau that could have been lifted from a historical painting, except this was happening in real time, witnessed by distinguished guests from both Britain and Germany. The selection of which royals wore which tiaras wasn't arbitrary, it reflected careful consideration of protocol, personal connections to specific pieces, and the overall visual message the palace wanted to convey about British-German relations and the enduring strength of diplomatic ties between the two nations. The German president's state visit provided the perfect occasion for this level of formal splendor because state visits rank among the highest forms of diplomatic honor one nation can extend to another. When a head of state receives an invitation for a state visit to the United Kingdom, it triggers an elaborate protocol that has been refined over centuries, involving everything from the route of the ceremonial carriage procession to the specific flowers used in table arrangements to which tiaras come out of the vault. These visits serve multiple purposes beyond just being pretty spectacles. They strengthen bilateral relationships, facilitate important political discussions, promote cultural exchange, and demonstrate mutual respect between nations. The fact that the British royal family pulled out all the stops for Germany's leader speaks to the importance of maintaining strong ties with one of Europe's most influential countries, especially in our current geopolitical climate where international relationships require constant nurturing. Windsor Castle itself provided the perfect backdrop for this glittering evening, with its ancient stones and grand rooms that have hosted everyone from medieval knights to modern presidents. The state dining room where the banquet took place has witnessed countless historic moments, and adding another chapter to that story with a German state visit carries particular significance given the complex shared history between Britain and Germany. The royal family has German ancestry through Prince Albert and earlier connections, which adds layers of meaning to these formal exchanges. Using Windsor rather than Buckingham Palace also sends a specific message. Windsor is more intimate, more personal, suggesting a warmth and depth to the relationship that goes beyond mere diplomatic necessity. The tiaras themselves represent more than just expensive accessories. Their wearable history, tangible connections to previous generations of royal women who wore these same pieces during their own defining moments. Some of these tiaras were wedding gifts, others were created to mark coronations or jubilees, and many have been modified over the years to suit changing tastes while preserving their essential character. The craftsmanship involved in creating these pieces represents the pinnacle of jewelry-making art, with techniques that in some cases have been lost to time. When you see these tiaras glittering under the chandeliers at a state banquet, you're looking at countless hours of work by master jewelers, rare gemstones sourced from around the world, and designs that balanced aesthetic beauty with structural integrity because these pieces need to be comfortable enough to wear for hours during lengthy formal dinners. What makes this particular evening so noteworthy is how it demonstrates the continuing relevance of royal ceremonial in our modern age. Some critics question whether elaborate state banquets with tiaras and formal dress codes belong in the 21st century, but these events serve important functions that video calls and informal meetings simply cannot replicate. The level of honor shown to a visiting head of state through this kind of formal reception creates goodwill and strengthens relationships in ways that matter for ongoing diplomatic work. The images from these events travel around the world, showcasing British culture, tradition, and soft power in a visual language that transcends linguistic and cultural barriers. When people see the elegance and careful attention to detail in these royal occasions, it creates positive associations with Britain as a nation. The planning that goes into an event like this is staggering, with teams working for weeks to ensure every detail is perfect. From the menu selection that balances British and German culinary traditions to the seating arrangements that facilitate productive conversations to the musical selections performed during dinner. The tiaras might be the most photogenic element, but they're part of a much larger choreographed experience designed to honor guests while showcasing the best of British hospitality and royal tradition. Palace staff rehearse procedures, security teams coordinate complex protection protocols, and the royal family members themselves prepare for their roles in what amounts to a highly sophisticated form of diplomatic theater where everyone knows their part and performs it flawlessly. Looking at how Queen Camilla has grown into her role provides one of the evening's most interesting subtexts, because wearing the tiara of a queen consort represents the culmination of a long and sometimes controversial journey to her current position. Her confidence at these events shows how fully she has embraced her responsibilities, and her obvious comfort with royal protocol suggests years of preparation and dedication to understanding what her role requires. The other royal women present also demonstrated their understanding of how to balance individual personality with the demands of representing an institution that's nearly 1,000 years old, showing that it's possible to honor tradition while bringing contemporary sensibility to these ancient rituals. The choice to honor Germany specifically with this level of ceremony reflects Britain's ongoing commitment to European relationships even as political landscapes shift and change. Cultural and diplomatic ties between nations require constant maintenance, and events like this state banquet serve as important touchstones that reinforce friendship and cooperation. The tiaras, the formal dress, the elaborate dinner, all of it contributes to creating a memorable experience that strengthens the personal relationships between leaders and demonstrates mutual respect in a way that matters for future cooperation on everything from trade agreements to security partnerships to cultural exchanges. As the evening concluded and the royal women removed their tiaras, returning these priceless pieces to the secure vaults where they're carefully preserved between wearings, the event left lasting impressions on everyone who witnessed it either in person or through the carefully released photographs that circulated worldwide. These images will be studied by royal watchers, analyzed by fashion experts, and admired by people who simply appreciate beauty and history coming together in spectacular fashion. The tiaras will return to storage, but the diplomatic benefits of the evening will continue to unfold through strengthened relationships and positive associations that benefit both nations. So here's what I want to know from you. If you could wear any tiara from the royal collection for just one evening, which would you choose and why?